I just want to set the world on fire.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I am Nuke4Prez and this is Fallout 4 Weapon Crafting with Mods. Today I have a top 10. This is a top 10 of weapons which I have created in the past on both the Any Mod Any Weapon videos and the Weapon Crafting with Mod videos. But I didn't want to do a standard top 10, so I decided to do redesigns of those 10 weapons. And these designs aren't necessarily better, they're just different. Some of them have had changes to the weapon functionality, others are purely cosmetic. So I'm going to get on with the video and I hope you enjoy. Firstly, at number 10 we have the Institute Plasma. I really like the idea of the Institute having their own design for plasma weapons. And I thought as an alternate I would create the Institute Alien Plasma. The Institute Alien Plasma shoots Alien Blast and uses blast ammo, but you don't have to use that, I just chose that as a personal preference. You could use cells or you could use plasma if you prefer. And it also still has the goo proc thanks to the legendary perk. And being an Institute weapon, you can use any Institute variant you like, including the split beam or the full auto, and it will still shoot plasma or alien blast, depending on which type you want. Number 9 is the Drum Mag 50 caliber. So as a redesign I did the Marksman's Drum Mag 50 cal. And to make this I used a new addition to my mod list allowing the use of weapon mods which were originally removed from the game. And if anybody wants that mod I'll leave a link to it in the description. And the reason I put this weapon at number 9 was because I like this weapon. It was the first time I really made a new 50 caliber, but I didn't go too over the top with it. It was just a nice redesign of the weapon while attempting to make a 50 caliber pistol. Coming in at number 8 we have the 10mm rifle. Now the 10mm rifle, I purely loved the animation for the reload on it, the way that the ammo clip was in the side of the weapon instead of underneath. So as a redesign I did a compact version. The compact version uses a slightly smaller stock and it uses a shorter barrel instead of the larger barrel from the laser. Functionality wise it's still pretty much the same as the original weapon, and it still has the funky ammo clip on the side which I really love. If the weapon was stronger I probably would have put it higher up the list, but because it's not the greatest weapon I kept it a bit further down. Coming in at number 7, we have the Raider Arm Cannon. The Raider Arm Cannon was a redesign of a standard arm cannon that I made in my very first video, but I've just found that out of all the arm cannons that I have made, the Raider one is my personal favourite. I just like the junky look to it. So as a redesign, I decided to do the Scatter Raider Arm Cannon. Now the Scatter Arm Cannon uses a scatter shot, basically a shotgun conversion from the WMX mod, but I removed the full auto and I also removed the never-ending ammo perk for a 2-shot instead. So the weapon itself has a little bit of recoil, but it is much more manageable because of the fact that it's not full auto. I figured that having the weapon full auto would just make it have too much recoil, so I decided to remove it. It still has the targeting ability, and if you use the targeting ability, all the rockets will stay on the same spot and go straight for the target. They don't even scatter, so the target just gets hit with about 7 rockets at once, maybe more. So it's a very powerful weapon. Coming in at number 6 is the Incendiary Shotgun from the Double Barrel Shotgun video. As an alternative, I decided to make the Combat Incendiary Shotgun instead. Now, the one thing I really liked about the Incendiary Shotgun was the projectile, so I decided to make the combat version just so that I had an alternative version of the gun. You don't really have to change the design of the weapon to do this, all you need is the legendary perk of Incendiary, but I just felt that the gun, with a bit of a redesign, just made it look a bit more personal to me, but functionality wise I don't think it really changes much about the weapon, so the weapon itself is still pretty much just a standard combat shotgun. Coming in at number 5 is the Plasma Gatling. The reason I put the Plasma Gatling in the list was because this was the first time I really tried to make a brand new weapon from an old one, and this was the result of changing a Gatling laser. So as a redesign, I did the Heavy Plasma, and the Heavy Plasma is pretty much the same gun as it was before, but all I did was I added the sniper barrel instead. Adding the sniper barrel gives it an increased range. It's also much more accurate in the scope, but outside of the scope and free shooting it is a bit more inaccurate compared to what it used to be. Now if you want, you could take off the broadsider clip and you can put a conversion to plasma so that you use plasma ammo instead of cells, but I just like the idea of the broadsider attachment as kind of a capacitor or a battery or a container of plasma or something just added onto the side so that it shows that it has a large ammo clip. Coming in at number 4, we have the spike pistol. The spike pistol was from the railway rifle video, and I converted a railway rifle into a pistol, but I decided this time to redesign it into a spike pistol again, but having a completely different look instead of having a changed railway rifle look. So this one looks more like a pistol, it looks more like its own style of weapon, but it still works in the same way. However, this version has the added perk of being able to set the enemies on fire, thanks to the laser receiver that I am using. At number 3, we have the 2-shot scatter rocket minigun. Now this weapon is a great artillery weapon. From a distance you can just absolutely destroy a target with the homing missile feature, and the amount of missiles that hit them is just unbelievable, and it looks awesome the way they arc and spread out and then go back in to hit the single target. So as a redesign, I decided to use the Gatling laser instead of the minigun and just change the look of the weapon. Functionality wise, the weapon just sounds a little bit different. Overall, I don't think there is too much difference, other than it uses different ammo to actually fire the weapon. Coming in at number 2 is the Wasteland Axe, which was in the last video which I actually posted, the melee video. Now, I just really love how this weapon looks. I just think it's a fine looking weapon. There's just something about it that I really like. It just reminds me of something that some sort of horror character would use, like from a horror movie. There's just something about it. I just think it's a really nice weapon. It's fun to use, although functionality wise it's not the strongest weapon, so as a redesign I added the Grognak Axe perk onto it. I could have added poison damage or something, but I thought staggering the enemy was a nice change, because the weapon is just so large and you swing it with so much force that why wouldn't you stagger from a weapon that looks like this? Now, coming in at number 1, and my favourite weapon that I have made so far on all my videos, is the Junk Jet Merv. Now the Junk Jet Merv will always have a place in my heart. After the very first time I shot the weapon, I shot a teddy bear up into the air and it blew me up, and I just laughed so loud that it was brilliant. I just couldn't get over it, and I just fell in love with the weapon then and there. So as a redesign, I didn't really change anything other than I made it a 2-shot, because I thought what's better than firing one teddy bear into the air and it blowing up was to fire 2. Now, this weapon is not the best weapon that I've made, it's not the most powerful weapon I've made, but it's just my favourite. It's just so fun to use this weapon, I really love it. And shooting someone with a teddy bear, you could use any piece of junk. You could use a toy car or a garden gnome or a pencil if you wanted to, but I always put teddy bears in this weapon just because it is so funny for me. I just find it funny watching a teddy bear fly into the air and explode with so much damage, and having 2 of them, it just makes the explosion sound even more devastating. So these were my favourite weapons that I've made so far, based on your suggestions and ideas of my own, and I really thank you for watching these videos so far, and I'm going to keep them going much longer than I ever expected I was going to keep them going. The next video is probably going to be either the Fat Man, the missile launcher, or the broadsider. I'm not sure which one yet, but I'll decide and upload that in the next couple of days, I'm hoping. Do me a favour and let me know in the comments what your favourite designs have been so far, and also, as always, the mod links are in the description. I'm not sure about which mods are similar to these for the consoles, so if anybody has any knowledge of that, if they know what mods are similar to the ones that I use in the description, please let me know so I can add the names of those as well so that people can search them on the consoles. Thank you for watching this video. I've thoroughly enjoyed recording some of these weapons that I've made, and other ones as well which didn't even make this list. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. So take care.